Now let me show you the math they don't put on thumbnails. This is the framework I've used for over 14 years. This is what actually gets accounts funded. Pay attention. We're going to model a simple 1 to 3 risk to reward setup. For every dollar I risk, I'm targeting $3 in return. That's it. That's the whole framework. Now watch what happens when I'm only right 40% of the time. Now, look at these numbers carefully. Wins, 4 trades, 4 times $300 equals $1,200 in profit. Simple, clean. Losses, 6 trades, 6 times negative $100 equals negative $600. You're losing 60% of the time. Net result, $600 profit. Read that again. You lose 6 out of 10 trades. The guru crowd thinks you're a disaster. You're posting your worst week in their Discord, and they're laughing. But your account is up $600. The math is clear. Now compare that to the 90% win rate trader. 9 wins at $100, and then 1 single loss at $1,000. 1 mistake. Net, negative $100, 10 trades, 9 wins, down on the month. The market doesn't give out trophies for being right, it gives out money for being profitable. Those are not the same thing. Understand that. And you've already won half the battle. Profitability is the only reality that counts. Here's what this means in practice. When you have a 1 to 3 framework locked in, a stop loss is no longer a failure. It's a controlled expense. Think about that. It's the cost of running the trade. The same way a business pays for inventory. You're not wrong when your stop gets hit. You're executing the plan, moving forward. You don't need to predict the market. You need to manage the trade. Prediction is ego. Management is edge. That's the secret. That's what the elite do differently. The funded traders I've watched over my career, they're not smarter than you. They aren't psychics. They are simply ruthless about protecting the downside while letting the upside breathe. Protect first. The math doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your ego. Write this down. Expectancy equals win percentage times average win minus loss percentage times average loss. Calculate it. Positive expectancy is the only number that matters in this business. Everything else, everything, is just noise. Focus on the math. The math is your shield. Use it. I want to talk about something someone dropped in the comments last week. They said, and I'm paraphrasing, I held a trade for 6 hours that was $400 against me. 6 hours of pain. They held it because they couldn't stand taking a loss and ruining their streak. $400 underwater. Because of a number on a spreadsheet, they chose a streak over their own capital. Pure ego. That is revenge trading in slow motion. And I don't say that to call anyone out. I say it because I've been there. 14 years and I've sat in trades I had no business being in, thinking I knew better. I was rationalizing, hoping, because the alternative felt like admitting I was wrong. Admit it, and you're free. But here's the reframe that changed everything for me. This is the moment your trading changes forever. A stop loss is not a loss. It is a tuition payment. Every business on earth has operating costs. Amazon has warehouses, airlines have fuel. Your operating cost is your stop loss. Accept it. Own it. The moment you accept that, the emotional charge dissolves. The problem isn't that you're taking losses. The problem is you haven't decided the cost in advance. Decide now, before the market decides for you. That decision, made before you enter, not during, that is what separates a professional from a gambler. Predefine everything. Professionals predefine risk. Period. They don't negotiate with the market, they execute. That is the difference. They don't negotiate with the market while they're in the trade. They set their max loss, they set their target, and they let it go. No adjusting, no moving the stop because price almost got there. No second guessing the process. The plan is the master. Next time a stop gets hit, write 1 sentence. My stop was hit because the market did not confirm my thesis, not because I failed. Read it back. Shift the conversation. You'll be surprised how quickly that shifts the internal voice. Control the narrative. The traders who make it, they're not the ones who were right the most. They're the ones who stayed in long enough to compound an edge. And you cannot compound if you're protecting ego instead of capital. Protect the money. Let the ego go. Stay in the game. All right, here's where you do the work. Not tomorrow. Right now. After this video. Go pull up your last 20 trades. I don't care if it's a live account, a demo, or a prop firm challenge. Pull up the last 20. Now ask yourself 2 questions. What is my average winner in dollars? And what is my average loser in dollars? Not the win rate, the dollar values. If your average loser is bigger than your average winner, you now know exactly why your account isn't growing. This is a math problem. And math problems have math solutions. The fix is not more trades. It's a simple rule. Your target must always be at minimum 1.5 times your stop. Ideally 2, ideally 3. Build that in. Build that in before you ever touch the entry button. Non-negotiable. If the setup doesn't allow for it, the setup doesn't get traded. Full stop. If what I showed you today hit different, If you're realizing you've been playing the wrong game, subscribe. This is about the psychology of staying in the business. And while you're here, watch this next video on exit strategy. Your entry gets you in the trade, but your exit determines if you actually make money. I'll see you in there. Trade smart or don't trade at all. Get back to the process. Get back to work.